Terrence Crawford recently did a sit down with Teddy Atlas. Before his up and coming fight with Jeff Horn is going to happen on this Saturday. We all know Teddy Atlas, man, one of the great trainers and one of the great boxing minds and commentators of our time. He had fighters like Michael Moore, Tim Bradley recently. He was a trainer of Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson earlier days. He actually trained Alex Povetkin, and now he's a commentator for. Well, he has not been commentating for ESPN of late. I don't know if they suspended him or what, but they giving him this platform to where he's sitting down. It's kind of like Max Kellerman when he sits down with fighters, and he's sitting down with Terrence Crawford, and they're talking about some of his recent fights, and how Terrence Crawford climbed up the ladder. They showed his fight with Ricky Burners, Posto. They showed his first fight that I seen him with against Breeders Prescott, and that's the fight that caught my eye with Terrence Crawford. That Breeders Prescott fight. He took that fight on I think a week notice or something like that. His fight fell through, and Breeders Prescott needed an opponent, and he ended up stepping in and fighting and winning that fight in a dramatic victory where he just took Prescott apart. And that fight right there told me I didn't even need to see another fight. I knew the guy was good, and I was telling everybody, even when he was at 135, moving up to 140, I told everybody that Terrence Crawford is going to be probably the next undisputed champion at 147. Guys told me that he was too small. He wouldn't be able to compete against bigger welterweights. But now we're gonna see he's gonna get his chance against Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn is a formidable opponent. He's not an opponent, rather he's a champion. So Terrence Crawford is coming in as the opponent. I got Terrence Crawford winning the fight. I expect Terrence Crawford to win, but I expect a tough, rugged fight from Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, he's not very skilled, but he's not a guy that doesn't have any skills. You know what I'm saying? He has skills, and what he does is skillful. The way he, moves around, and I'm not gonna say he's dirty. Some people say he's dirty. I don't think he's dirty. He's just rough and tumbling and tough up in there. You know what I'm saying? He can box somewhat. He can get in the inside and mix it up. Use his head, use his shoulders, hit you everywhere but loose. But Terrence Crawford should be ready for this. He's seen the Manny Pacquiao fight. I'm pretty sure he sat down and looked at that fight and seen some other Jeff Horn fights, and he knows what he's up against, so it shouldn't be no surprise. Terrence Crawford is a smart fighter, one of the smartest fighters in the sport today, so he should be ready for everything. He shouldn't be caught off guard by anything. But this was a nice sit down. It was a different platform. He's fighting on ESPN Plus, so if you don't have ESPN Plus, you're not gonna be able to see the fight. I got a subscription for it. It's only $4 a month. It's cheap. So, it's their version of pay per view, but it's very, very cheap. But like I said, I got Terrence Crawford winning the fight, but I do expect Jeff Horn to fight very well. I just see Jeff Horn getting hit a lot. That's one thing about Jeff Horn. He gets hit a lot. He doesn't care that he gets hit either, and sometimes he leads with his face, and he's prone to cuts. That's another thing. And Terrence Crawford is one of the more accurate punchers in the sport today. And I expect Terrence Crawford to go in there, handle his business, at 147, and then, start fighting some other guys. But the fight I want to see with him, I want to see him fight Earl Spence. I want to see him fight Keith Thurman. I want to see him fight with Sean Porter or, Danny Garcia, the guys of that ilk, and see how good he really is. But I truly believe he has a very good chance of being undisputed and beating all those guys. And some people is going to be surprised about Terrence Crawford, but some people banking on that he's too small. But I told him, what if he's not? What if he goes in and he's not too small? Then what? Because a lot of people are saying that he can't beat Earl Spence because he's too small. But he go in there against Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn is one of the bigger welterweights in the division. He go in there against Jeff Horn, handle his business, and show you that he can handle welterweights. And I believe Terrence Crawford has a slender type build. So he's not going to put on crazy weight, but he can put on some weight and put on some strength to where if his punch comes up, the strength of his punches come up, but he already got the skills. He doesn't have to punch crazy hard. The man has the skills to go in there and take anybody apart. But if he brings some punching power up from 140 and bring it to 147, or maybe punch a little bit harder, then these guys are going to be in very, 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 very bad trouble. And, Earl Spence, he said he doesn't really, much how some people say how Keith Thurman talk when he talk about Earl Spence. But nobody is talking about how Earl Spence talks when people bring up Crawford's name. Earl Spence don't really sound as confident he sound when he talking about Keith Thurman and when he talking about Sean Porter, when he talking about Danny Garcia. He kind of, the other day he was saying that, I mean, at first Terrence Crawford said he wanted to fight Earl Spence. Earl Spence said go get that belt first. Now, some guy at Earl Spence gym asked him if Terrence Crawford win that fight, are y'all going to fight? Can that fight be next? Now, I understand the business side of it. Two different promotional companies, two different channels, two different networks. But to me, look, if I'm a fighter, I'm not going to even bring that up. Earl Spence was saying, well, the suit's going to have a battle in two different promotional companies, two different channels, but it's been fighters on Bob Arum end has already fought some fighters from Al Heyman's stable. As a matter of fact, Terrence Crawford fought Molina. John Molina is a Al Heyman guy, so he's already fought somebody over there. So the fight can happen, but it's just mighty funny that Earl Spence brought that up. All he had to say was, yeah, he win that fight. I don't know if he's gonna fight next. I don't know if he's gonna be able to fight next immediately. But yes, I want that fight. But he had to talk about the suits and all that. It was kind of a little strange to me, but that, it's all right. I know Earl Spence is here to fight, and he wants to fight everybody. That's one thing I can give Earl Spence. He does want to fight everybody, but he's not gonna beat this guy. This guy right here, he's not gonna beat this guy. This guy got too much skill. Now one of the guys in Earl Spence training camp, one of the guys that was interviewing him said, "Why do you think you're better than Earl Spence?" He said, "Because I got more skills." No, you don't. No, you don't. Earl Spence has one speed, and that's come forward mainly. Come forward, break you down to the body, throw his jab. He got a pretty decent jab, but he's flat-footed. But he doesn't have more skill than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford can go orthodox, southpaw. He throws a great jab to the body, hook, straight left hand, straight right hand. His defense is better than Earl Spence. People don't realize Terrence Crawford has crazy defense. Like, he can go to a crazy defensive mode. Just look at the Postal fight. Look at the Prescott fight. Look at the Gamboa fight. You know what I'm saying? Gamboa is a very talented fighter. People look at him like, oh, he's small. No, that man is very, very talented. He's a very talented fighter. Very quick-footed, very quick-handed. And when Terrence Crawford made the adjustment, he started beating him up, and then he knocked him out. So, like I said, I expect Terrence Crawford to win the fight. Let me know what y'all think. Subscribe to the channel. Who y'all got, Terrence Crawford or Jeff Horn? I'm out.